Good morning, school director, teachers, distinguished guests, and participants. First,
Welcome to Personal Project Exhibition Sekolah Surabaya.
first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Happy.
And my name is Bella. We'll be the host of the Personal Project Exhibition today.
Today, your 10 students will present personal project. Personal project is a culmination of students' learning which highlights
Mhm. Before we start our exhibition today, we would like to invite Mr. Hasso Bidexo as the school director of Sekolah Cikal Surabaya to give a welcome speech. To Mr. Hasso Bidexo, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, dear students, parents, teachers, and all school community. It's such a good day to celebrate student learning process in personal project. As you know, personal project is the student culmination of a learning journey which leads them to independently lead the project. The project is initiated by the student, and the whole process of the project is also done by the student and supervised by the teachers. This project asks students to explore beyond their personal and school boundaries as they need to gain valid information from reliable sources. COVID pandemic is surely a great challenge for students and for us. However, regular virtual meeting with the supervisor and expert have been conducted as modification to offline meeting. Students experience various learning skills such as self-management skill, research skill, and communication skill. As a school, Sekolah Cikal Surabaya continuously nurtures students with the competency that they need to fulfill their future goals and facing future challenges. Further, those competencies such as intelligent, reflective, and communicative are assessed through various programs we have provided and make sure our students have sufficient exposure. Again, let me express my gratitude to all my students who show great commitment and enthusiasm during the process. I wish you luck and you can defining your success and transforming beyond together with us. And of course, my biggest thanks to parents, teachers, and all experts who support and encourage students for the journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hasso, for your inspiring speech.
next, our agenda is a presentation from your 10 students. For the participants who want to ask questions to the presenter, just directly type it in the chat. They will answer later on the PPX talks. Kindly support and check the Year 10 projects by checking the booklet.
First, we have Geria Danish Azahra. Danish will present her personal project about school architecture. Her project title is Nature-Based Study Place Architecture. To Danish, time is yours.
My name is Danish. I am a year 10 student from Sekolah Cikal Surabaya. And in this personal project exhibition, I will explain my journey in this project. And in this personal project, I decided to choose a topic that I am interested in. I chose school architecture, the influence of school designers' outcome as the topic of this project. I chose this topic because I am interested in design, especially in architecture, and I have some experience in designing architecture. And also, I wanted to develop my creativity that I will need to have in order to achieve my dream job, which is an architect. The title of my project is Nature-Based Study Place Architecture. And my main goal of this personal project is to develop people's thoughts about school architecture by designing a study place with the concept of nature-based design that will help students to learn better. The global context that guides me in my exploration is scientific and technical innovation. I choose this global context because it helps me to focus on the subheadings, which is the impact of environments on human activity. And it also helps me in my exploration through systems, models, methods, products, processes, and also solutions. For my research, I use websites and articles. I also did an interview with Pak Angger Sukma. He is an expert in architecture, and I also collect data from surveys. And as you can see here, I made a mind map to encapsulate all of my research. So, what is nature-based study place architecture? So basically, nature-based study place architecture is an architecture that is designed for teenage students, especially middle and high schoolers, where they can study individually with a natural ambience. And the concept of this architecture is based on the needs of students in Indonesia. So what does science say about this, and what does it have to do with architecture? So the prefrontal cortex, which relies on a part of the brain called the amygdala that makes decisions, actions, and solve problems. And this shows a significant growth at the stage of adolescence. And adolescent has this thing called the HPA axis reactivity, resulting in an increased hormonal response to the stress. And one of the stress that teenage students may go through is boredom. So boredom is a student complaint, and it is more than just a feeling of discomfort, but it is also a feeling of stress that can interfere with their ability to learn and their health. Since architecture influences human behavior, a boring architecture will cause stress and boredom to students. So this stress blocks and disturbs the prefrontal cortex and amygdala. And based on my research, nature can reduce the stress that blocks this part of the brain. So a study place with a natural ambience will help to train the prefrontal cortex and amygdala to be active and produce a better outcome. And before I create the product, I made a criteria for me to judge whether my design is successful or not. So I divided the criteria into 5 sections, which is aesthetics, materials, function, content, and audience. For the aesthetics, I want my product to look appealing to the eyes, and my product must represent the mood board that I create, and I want my product to look neat and understandable to the audience. For the material, I use a 2D digital drawing software called Krita, and I also use Google Sites to make the website that I use to put all of my 2D digital drawings and also the explanation. For the function, the purpose of my product is to show an attractive design innovation of school or study place architecture. And I also wanted to change people's mindset about school architecture nowadays. For the content, I digitally draw different aspects of the architecture design, which is the layout, views, exterior, and interior. And lastly, the audience is teenagers from middle to high school in Indonesia. So this is my product. As I have just said before, I drew 4 aspects of the architecture, which is the layout, the side view, exterior, and interior. I also made a model for this exhibition. So as you can see here, this is the model, and the shape of the architecture is dome. So the reason why I designed it to have a dome shape is because based on my research, students complains about the shape of the classroom, which are square shape or four walls. And also this dome shape is similar to a cave, and it is also surrounded, as you can see, it also surrounded by trees, which will give the effect of natural ambience. And if you wanted to know more about my design, you can check this link. It is my website that I create to show my design and also the explanation. And in this project, I have developed skills such as the self-management skill, communication and social skill, research skill, and thinking skill. But if I'm able to improve something, I will improve the design of my product, because I got so many feedbacks from people that I need to fix the lighting and also the ventilation. I also hope that in the future I'm able to focus on other than the aesthetics, but also the lightnings, ventilation, size, materials, and the cost, and etc. But overall, I actually enjoyed my journey in this project. So yeah, I think that that's all that I wanted to show to you. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, Danish, for a great presentation. Second, we have Hisham. Hisham will present his personal project about organic battery. So Hisham, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Bella, for the time. Uh, Hi, everyone. My name is Hisham Darussafian Amadeo, and I'm your 10th student from Sekolah Cikal, Surabaya. My project, and at this moment, I want to present my personal project, that is organic battery. And my project is supervised by Miss Karima. The goals of this project are to find alternatives to conventional battery technology that are not environmentally friendly by making organic battery, and educating the community around me to support renewable energy. And here is it clear that there are two products of my project. For the global context, I choose scientific and technical innovation because this is the right global context for my project this time, because my project deals with finding new alternatives to conventional battery replacement. So scientific and technical innovation are the most appropriate global context for my project. As you can see, I create two timelines. The first timelines are made filed to the continuous research process and the prototypes material that had to be imported. So I create a second timeline in linear way that you can see on the screen. It took 17 weeks, which is 8 weeks longer than the first timeline. The picture on the screen is the screenshot during a interview with Kak Caca, chemical energy expert, or her full name is Haryudini Arsya Putri MSI. In the interview, I was explained more deeply about the component and direction that occur in the battery. During the creation process or the prototype manufacturing process, I experienced some trial and error, uh, like the picture you can see on the screen, until I found the ideal way to make a prototype. And the picture on the slide is the first step in the making process of making a prototype that is making a battery cell. The second step is to fill the battery cell with citric acid powder until the battery cells are filled fully. And the third step, arrange the battery cells that have been filled with the citric acid into the case until it is full. The fourth step, the battery prototype can be charged, and after the charging process is complete, the battery can be tested or used. For the video product creation, or more precisely, my second product, uh, the process is like making a videos in general, such as material resource about renewable energy, looking at several looking for several other video for trap and arranging them in the video editing application both on laptop and smartphone. The evaluation of the organic battery prototype include two aspects. The first is material and the second is function. For the material meeting the level 8 criteria that have been determined using zinc and copper plate as anode and cathode, and using citric acid as electrolyte. On the assessment of the function also meet the specified criteria which can be used as a secondary battery. Product evaluation of renewable energy videos include two aspects. Include four aspects. The first is aesthetic, the second is content, the third is influence, and the fourth is the audience. The aesthetic meet the criteria level 8 with interesting informative writing accompanied by voiceover, additional animated, other video, and appropriate transition. And the contents fulfills the criteria level 6 by calculating the formula with the research point that the result is 8.5. Influence get level 8 with the majority of audience was influenced, and the less is audience with level 8 with more than 50 viewer, that is 160 viewer on YouTube. IB profile and skill development. Inquirer, knowledgeable, thinker, and reflective. Inquirer, while working on this project, question mark keep popping up in my head. I become a person who always want to know again and again. I have to do a lot of research from various sources, which also have to make sure the source is credible. Uh, the research, the research on this project has also been one of the most complex studies I have ever done. For knowledgeable, this project increased my knowledge about batteries and renewable energy. Discussing with expert let me know more about battery and important thing related. For thinker, as long as I work in this project, I run into lot of problem. I have to think creatively to rack to rack my brain to rack my brain to find a solution, such finding the easiest and the most effective way to build the prototype. And the last one is reflective. I know that the research I have done is far from perfect still, but I have a lot of development and testing to do, and I also have to listen to input from other people, discuss and consult with related expert to perfect this project before it used before it's used by the wider community. I also learn a lot about troubleshooting during this project. And maybe you can see behind me, this is the structure of the organic battery. In the middle, you can see this is citric acid as an electrolyte, and this is the zinc as the cathode, and copper as anode. And this the picture while I'm build the prototype. And this is the picture while I'm running testing the prototype. Uh, you can watch my video at YouTube, Renewable Energy on Setra Intus, my channel. And thank you everyone, and thank you for your attention. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Hisham, for your presentation. That's a really cool topic for a personal project. Third, we have Timur. Timur will present his personal project about productivity through melodies and visuals. So, Timur, I miss yours.
First of all, thank you very much for coming to this exhibition. My name is Samudra Timur. I'm a 10th year student in Sekolah Cikal, Surabaya, and the topic that I'm going to talk about is productivity, which is conveyed through melodies and visuals. The premise of this project is basically many people have been using the pandemic as a reason to not be productive. So in this project, I decided to make a product with limited amount of resources, basically with only equipment and things I have. And if I don't have it, I have to find a way to get it without spending anything. And so I decided that and like for example like borrowing and etc. So the global context that I see fit for this project is personal and cultural expression, because song making or music it, are one of the ways to express yourself personally. So my prior learning, I've been playing the guitar. Like personally, I've been playing the guitar for about 3,000 hours. So why not make a product that not only help people to be more productive, it can also help accompany people through the pandemic. And so I decided that the product is an instrumental song with visuals. And from the technical side, I take experience in from Chikal's music program, which taught me how to use PenLab, the AW software, and I have also have some experience on other softwares, and I've also experienced in YouTube doing song covers and etc. The challenge in this project is in the product itself is that to make sure it is in high, I have to make sure that it is in high quality with the equipment I have in terms of audio quality and video quality. So basically, with limited amount of resources, I have to make sure that in terms of production, it is very good. To start off the project, I created a success criteria to see how successful my project is, which I can use to reflect on the things that I've done to create the project after completion. Uh, of course, I also made sure I'm organized, so I made a weekly timetable from January to March. And for the file managements, I created folders to organize the files so that I know where things are, and so the project started. So to make sure I have another perspective and views when making the project, I interviewed Nirvana Records sound engineer Bob Jimara and Chicago's music teacher Ading Agusta for his views and opinions of this project. So the picture in the left is the man himself, Bob Jimara, which helped me consult and which helped me review the song, and the right one is a screenshot of a meeting of an interview with Ading Agusta in Zoom. And so here comes the production. I made sure that I started the production by creating the notes and the melodies of the song and immediately created the guitar arrangements of the song. Then I wrote it on a music software called Music Score to make sure I know how the song goes. I created multiple versions of the song in the software that fits the flow of the song, because the previous versions doesn't have a good flow. But after multiple revisions and consultations, helped by assisted by the song was finally decided. And after the song is finished, I record the main instrumental on Audacity and edit the background instrumentals right after. A few days later, I plan on making the visuals and plan out the recording. And I then started on recording the visuals. I recorded some random scenery for inspiration at first, and when I thought I was ready, I immediately started recording. And so the product is finished. So this the product. I uploaded on Instagram on crn.ig, and if you want to check it out, you can check it out. And and so yeah, it is basically some kind of like a music video, but it is an acoustic version using only guitar and only with the things that I have. To make sure the result fits my goal, I interviewed the first person, Amanda Carissa Nursanti, a 10th-year uh, SMA Negeri 16 student. She's a singer, guitarist, archer, and an equestrian. And the second person is Isham Nabil Umran, an 11-year student and from SMA Negeri 20 student from SMA Negeri 20. He is a gamer and a volleyball player. And the song, based on those interviews and surveys, the song was deemed as calming and can be used as something to accompany people while studying. And the editing is also deemed as something different based on the response. One of my sources stated that he was inspired to start streaming if he were to do something productive. When everything was done, I felt satisfied with what I've made because I've successfully made a song from scratch. I feel like the flow of the song is very good and the audio is also very clean. I use various clips and cinematic shots which perfectly fits the calm the calm warm mood of the song. The editing was also interesting and aesthetically pleasing for me and the people I interviewed and surveyed. Also, I think my product highly helps people to show that we're able to create something and be productive even in the pandemic with the limited amount of resources that I used, which I was aiming for. And after this project was finished, I've come to realize that it is not what people think about how you express yourself through the things that you made, but it is about how you yourself think about the things that you made. In the end, it is a personal and crucial expression, so you don't need to worry about how people interpret your works and just express yourself through it. And from the day I started making the project, I try to be more productive by creating YouTube covers, Instagram covers, and I feel like things are just more fun and fresh, especially when people like what you made and they are helped somehow, some way and somehow. So that is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening, and I wish you all a great day.
Thank you, Timur, for your presentation. That was very interesting, alright? Next, we have Happy. Happy will present her personal project about body image insecurity. Her project title is Find the Positivities Over the Insecurity by Found the Door, the Confidence Mirror. You happy? Time is yours.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Personal Project Exhibition 2021. My name is Happy, and I'm also the year 10 students of Sekolah Cikal, Surabaya. Today, I will show you my personal project, starting from the early journey until the final product. First, let's talk about the title of my project. It is Find the Positivities Over Insecurities by Found the Door, the Confidence Mirror. So, why did I name my main product Found the Door? Foundador stands from two words of foundation and adore. So it is basically the foundation of how to adore yourself, which is by the mirror. A mirror can be the media to see our insecurities, but also the key or the door to get out of it. So I will explain later about my project. The topic or the main problem I want to discuss in this project is about insecurity or specifically about body image insecurities. Insecurity is the feeling of not being safe or lacking confidence in some aspects, while body image is the beliefs or perception of someone to their own body appearance, whether it is positive or negative. I ended up choosing this topic because some of my friends told me they're having insecurity with their body, but they don't know how to overcome it. So every time they want to upload their photo on social media, they will always feel insecure about it. But my goal is not directly to solve the insecurities. The main goal of this project to realize people with the perspectives of whatever their shapes are, whatever their abilities are, where they are coming from, have values to be proud of. I want people to be more confident in expressing themselves in more valuable way. So with my product, I hope instead of seeing the one black spot, I hope those who have body image insecurities can see the hidden gems on their body. So in that way, they can easily accept their insecurities and their body. And the global context. Personal and cultural expression is the global context I choose for this project. My project is related to finding our true self, expressing ourselves, and how we can express our ideas, feelings, shapes, values, and beliefs confidently, and also appreciation to ourselves. That's why I think this global context will suit my project well. And the first skills developed throughout my project is research skills. I've done several research methods to support my project. I invited a psychology named Mr. Daniel as my primary research. I also read some journal articles to support my and gain understanding. So that is one of the journal I read. And I conducted a public survey about insecurity. So let's jump to the survey result first. I conducted a digital survey using Google Forms, and I got approximately 150 respondents from the English and Bahasa surveys. So in short, this survey is aimed to see which body part the respondents are confident, liking confident the most. And the result turns out most respondents are having insecurity with stomach and body weight. So and also from the next question is like how often do they feel insecure? The average answer indicates 4.4, which is still in the middle level. And I'll talk about the product criteria when my product to the product criteria I've made. I want my product to look as simple as possible, and I want it aesthetically minimalist and eye-catchy. And for the cost, it is not actually that much if you already have the mirror. But for your information, I have to buy the full body mirror, so it does cost more. And the materials needed are mirror, used clothes, and hooks, and long wood. And for more info about the materials and how to assemble it, you can later on check my YouTube video about it. I'll explain later too. And this project is targeted for teenagers and young adults because because based on research, these ages are those who are having much insecurities rather than the other age group. And by the way, I can finish this project well without having self-management skills. I developed these skills throughout the schedule I made uh, during the process of making, and how did I follow up the schedule without postponing any. Glad I did follow the schedule well and my project finished on time. So that is the schedule I made in my personal notes on my phone. These are the product sketches I made using Procreate. The first one is the sketch or the plotting of the main product, which is the founded door or the mirror one. And the right sketch is the first product, which is the digital campaign I upload on social media. So this is the first product, which is the digital campaign. It is a mini story about a girl with insecurities and ended up prompting the mirror to solve her insecurities. And I want to see how many people will get interested in the main product after seeing this. I uploaded this on my personal account on Instagram. And this is the main product or the founder door. or the mirror I made. So I will explain a bit about how to use the product. So like as you can see in here, there is a mirror and with this mini curtains. So let's say you are having insecurities with your face. So let's just open up the face part and close the other part and try to like think something positive about your insecurities. Try to think it deep and yeah, that's just how you do it. Like it's so simple and easy to follow. And if you want to have the same product like mine, you can kindly check the tutorial video I've uploaded on my YouTube channel. You can directly scan the barcode over there, or just type in the YouTube on the door, and it will pop up directly. A reflection. 3 months working on this project was a really long journey, and this project helped me to challenge myself more and to do something beyond my comfort zone. I've gone through the point where I was excited about doing this project and the point where I want to do nothing. Like my mind project itself is my reminder because there are people maybe relying much on my product. Then I got the point where I feel like I have to do this project, but just not for them, but also for myself too. And speaking of which, do people need my product? The friends who inspired me to work on this project said she is interested in making this product. However, the problem is the budget. Yeah, I think I have much budget for her, and I plan to explain the cheaper alternatives they can use to build Fund the Door in the video product, but I forgot to do it. So yeah, I think I have to improve my video product. So this is the end of my presentation of my personal project journey. Thank you for listening to my presentation. The last thing that I want to say is don't let insecurity thoughts ruin something amazing in yourself. So just believe in yourself. Good, good morning and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Happy, for your presentation. Your products look amazing, by the way.
Yes, thank you, Bella. Okay, so let's move on to the next presenter, which is Bella. Bella will present her personal project about self harm. The title of her project is Get Over It. So, to Bella, time is yours.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bella, and today I will be presenting my personal project. The title of my project is Get Over It. It is a personal project about self harm. So, first, let's do a brief introduction to my topic. What is self harm? Self harm is the act of intentionally hurting oneself as a coping mechanism. People harm themselves as an attempt to channel their emotions, and these emotions tend to be negative. After conducting research from many different sources, I concluded that this is the right definition of self harm. Why did I choose this topic? I chose this topic because it's an issue that happens very commonly, yet so many people are not aware of this issue. It is also common in my own personal environment. What is my goals for this project? The goal of my project is to raise awareness of self-harm so that people could have more understanding about this topic and help create a more supportive environment for those who need it, especially since environment plays a huge role in one's mental health. As for my global context, I decided to choose identities and relationships to guide me through my research and be focused on my goals. Since my project was about understanding self-harm, this global context fits perfectly for my topic. There could be so many things to explore from different perspectives for a topic, and I believe this global context could help me to explore them better. By choosing this global context, I wanted to explore this topic based on a focus on the perspective of values, human relationships, including family and friends, and mental health. The prior learning. I've always been interested in learning about psychology. In physical self-education class, we discussed mental health issues a lot. I have gained a lot of understanding and knowledge from doing discussions. I learned about how our surroundings could affect our mental health, and I could apply this knowledge to my research because this would help me to develop as well as to solve my research questions. As for outside of school, I had plenty of sharing and discussion sessions with some experienced individuals who have encountered my topics, and their sharing was really informative for me. So, my project, my product, for my product, I created an online campaign called Get Over It. Get Over It is an online campaign that focuses on self harm, and the goal is to spread awareness about this topic. So, this is my online campaign. It's on Instagram. You can check it out if you want to know more about self harm. The username is getoverit.id. So, why did I name it Get Over It? I chose to name it Get Over It because it was related to my goal and how I wanted the audience to be aware about self harm. That being said, the term Get Over It is not directed at self harmers, but it is about the audience helping them get over or get through their issues. So, this is my product criteria. I want my product to be very organized and have very high quality pictures and very colorful to make it more attracting to the eye of the audience. As for the audience, I want my product to have at least over 100 audience. And the content, I want to provide very high amount of correct and valid information and very helpful content. For the impact, I want my product to highly influence people. For the process, there were many steps that I had to do in order to finish this project. For the research, I used different methods of research such as reading journals, articles, books, and I did an interview with a psychologist who handled patients who deal with self-harm, and I made surveys. After I finished my research, I began to start preparing content for my online campaign. Then I made the Instagram account for a campaign and I started posting. So these are the IB learner skills that I applied to my project, thinking skills. During the project duration, I developed my thinking skills. I learned to brainstorm for ideas of what to be posted on my campaign and to get the message understood right to the audience. I also learned to segregate what to set on priority to what was not important to be mentioned. In short, I learned about how to think critically where I could learn how to concept my projects, trying to put all material together, selecting necessary subjects to be posted, and analyzing information I obtained through reading, interviews, and surveys as my foundation of my project. For communication and social skills, I had to do an interview for my research, and I was able to ask questions and had a discussion in my interview. I was satisfied with the answers that I got, and I had to manage my social media account. I had to interact with the audience, and I also made surveys. During collecting my respondents of the survey, I had to contact my friends, my old friends, people I don't often talk to because I had to reach over 50 respondents. This is a screenshot of my interview through Zoom with Soliana Martha Ivan. She's a psychologist. As for my self-management skills, I use the reminder app and the calendars to help me write down the steps or progress of my project. This really helped me with my time management. So this is my survey result. These are two questions from my survey. I put only two questions to show you guys. And I made this survey because I wanted to see how people around me would react to self-harm. So first question, if you found out that one of your friends do self-harm, what would you do? As you can see, most of the respondents answered still be friends, but there are also people who chose to avoid and still be friends, but not as close as they used to be. And the second question, what would you do if you found out your friend self-harm? Would you try to help them? Most say yes, and the rest say no. In my survey, I also asked what advice people would give to people with self-harm, and most of the answers will sound judgmental or victim blaming, which is very unfortunate. This only proves that people need to be more educated about self-harm. By judging someone with self-harm, you are not helping them at all. And this is the insights of my online campaign. My first campaign post was on 10 February. In a week after I started my campaign, I managed to reach over 100 accounts, as you can see on the pictures. My account managed to reach an audience from other countries too outside of Indonesia. And as my account got bigger, I reached an even wider audience outside of Indonesia. Now let's get into the reflection. This is my IB profiles and skills reflection. Throughout my time doing this project, I believe that I have developed a lot of skills, but the traits that stand out the most are caring, communicator, inquirer, thinker, knowledgeable, and open-minded. So let's elaborate one by one. Caring. One of the reasons why I chose the topic was because I was aware of how common self-harm is around my surroundings. For a while, it was a topic that triggered me because I've witnessed one of my friends showing their scars to me. At the time, there was not a lot I could do to help them because I didn't understand what self-harming meant and why someone would do such a thing. Then there were more friends coming forward to me about their experiences of self-harm. I thought that with personal projects, I could spread awareness to others about self-harm and show the many ways we could help self-harm victims. Communicator. I turned out to be good at doing interviews. When doing an interview for research, I had an insightful discussion in my interview. Okay, reflection. I developed skills that I'm sure helped me become a better learner and a person. There were ups and downs. I faced challenges too while doing this project, but I managed to face them all. Time management was one of the biggest challenges that I faced during this project, as I'm sure everybody else did too. As for my product reflection, I am really satisfied of how it came out to be, and it reflected my global context. In my product, I also shared how family's values affect one's mindset and can be a factor of self-harm, and this reflected the strong values. I do believe that it has fulfilled all the criteria that I've made, but there are things that I could definitely improve. I also, from doing my project, I discovered more safe mental health communities on social media and made a connection with them. It was a memorable learning experience. That's all I have to say. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you, Bella. That was really great presentation. You're so brave to choose self-harm as your personal project topic, yeah? Okay, let's move on to the next presenter. We have Naila here. Naila will present her personal project about toxic masculinity. So, to Naila, time is yours.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome to Personal Project 2021. My name is Naila from Year 10 of Sekolah Cikal, Surabaya. Today I will show you my personal project. The title of my personal project is Toxic Masculinity. What is toxic masculinity? Toxic masculinity is a description of unhealthy, injurious forms of masculinity that have generated much attention in society. Manliness is defined as violent sex aggressiveness in the idea of masculine culture, where strength, everything, and emotion are weakness. There is nothing necessarily wrong with masculinity or femininity or wanting to fulfill certain masculine traits, such as looking after your family or being chill fellows. This can be positive things. However, if the masculinity becomes toxic and is used as a way to have power and control over other people, then it can be a problem. It's also worth remembering that certain traits that are considered masculine don't belong to men alone, just as certain traits that are considered feminine don't belong to women alone. Women are driven and hardworking, just as men can be vulnerable and show emotion. And there's nothing wrong with that. And not everyone identifies their gender as masculine or feminine, or male or female. Behavior of behavior of toxic masculinity. One, extreme self-realization or making it less likely for men to seek treatment or reach out for help financially. Two, shame, decision, and avoidance of emotional expression. Think men don't cry, leaving men with few acceptable emotions besides anger. Three, extreme aspiration for physical, sexual, and intellectual dominance. How often have you seen parents upset with a male child for playing with dolls, or better yet, parents furious with their son because he dared to cry after experiencing something he didn't like? How often have you seen a man speak over another woman or attempt to explain a concept to a woman who clearly understands it? How often have you seen a man neglect using safety equipment and scoff of the idea another worker putting their safety first? There is no official guide on how to be a man, so I would like to fill a shoes to provide a definition of what it means to be a man or to be a masculine. But there are some common qualities that most men agree upon. Leadership, providing for protecting your family, handling responsibility, and courage, bravery tend to be the most agreeable core values of manhood. Why did I choose this topic? I chose toxic masculinity as my personal project because most of the environment around me still think that men shouldn't cry. Domestic work such as washing the dishes and clean up the house is woman's work. Teasing friends who look neat, insulting fellow boys who use skincare or makeup, and many more. My global contact is identities and relationship. I choose the global concept identities and relationship because it will reflect on my project and fits very well. It talks about mental, physical, and spiritual health, which is expressed in my project. It also discusses how family or friends can influence a person's mindset. My goal is to provide information to people about the impact of toxic masculinity in their lives. Apparently, there are many effects and very dangerous. One of the examples is capable of triggering psychological and social problems, including among school children who have learning difficulties and behavioral problems. So this is my survey result. I made a survey from Google Form. This survey discussed whether they know about toxic masculinity and have experienced it. The results turned out the most respondents ever experienced toxic masculinity. I have just one product. The product is a t-shirt. On the back of the t-shirt is writing the amount of facial hair doesn't define your manliness. The meaning of the word is that amount of dense or thin hair does not guarantee your masculinity. This product is a campaign to provide information and raise awareness about toxic masculinity to teenagers. There will be a few quizzes, and if you can answer, you get a t-shirt. If you are interested to join the quiz, you can join by logging to quizzes.com and enter the code. My reflection is My reflection is the challenge that I face is time management. That's very hard for me to manage my time. I'm quite satisfied with the result, but need improvement in some areas, such as time management can and find more research, and I learned a lot. So this is the end of my presentation of my personal project journey. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope this project can give us knowledge about what is toxic masculinity and what are the negative effects. Thank you.
Thank you, Naila, for your great presentation. That's a really cool t-shirt design. Okay, so last but not least, we have Nanda. Nanda will present his personal project about poverty. So, to Nanda, time is yours.
Hello everyone, my name is Fernando Yusuf Misha Prithanugraha. You can call me Nanda. And today I'm gonna present you about my personal project, which is titled Poverty in My Environment. Okay, so first, what is it actually about? Poverty is a big topic. It can be losing your parents, losing your jobs, losing lack of care, lack of money, and etc. For this personal project, I chose people losing their jobs. Ever since the pandemic started, more and more people start losing their job, and I wanted to help them by giving them tips or solutions. And my global context will be fairness and development. My project is about alerting people about a serious problem, helping them by giving them some of my solutions. My project is about helping others, and I feel like we have the responsibility to help others. For this reason, I believe that this global context fits my project well. So, research about the topic. Poverty, like I said, poverty is a big topic, so I chose losing jobs. After that, I look for examples on how people are losing their jobs and what they do after they're losing their jobs. I interviewed an ex-assistant at a small restaurant in Nehru Road in Surabaya, and he taught me like how what to do and how he did it. And I also found a person in a YouTube video that he only he did the last resort, which is selling his stuff, and yeah, he was homeless. Okay, so planning to make the product. So first idea, I thought I was going to make a campaign, but I think it will not be much help to people. So second idea was to make a charity website, but I realized that it would only help like a small percentage of people. And the third idea was to make a video about it and explain how they lost their jobs and give them tips on how to solve it and upload it to YouTube. So making the video, first I made the actual content in a website called Canva, and then I put it to the editing software called iMovie, and I put my voice over it, and then I upload it straight to YouTube. Okay, so here's the product. It's around 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It contains what I tried to say and what I what the person that I interviewed said too. It also contains like my tips and solutions. Okay, so after finishing the personal project, I got a cool experience from this. I learned a lot of new things, such as poverty itself. And this project definitely improved my skills, my communication, my social, and research. For communication, I talk better now and how to make conversation interesting. Uh, and my social skills, I learned how to start a conversation with that. And research, I learned how to solve problem better. And yeah, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Nanda, for your great presentation. Unfortunately, we are already at the end of the event.
Thank you, your 10 students, for your presentation performance. Thank you, distinguished guests and participants, for attending this event.
For a reminder, the year 10 students will have deeper talks about their personal project. Also, they will answer the questions already given. So don't forget to fill the feedback form by scanning the QR code over there or clicking the link below on the chat. And don't forget to attend the PPX talk tomorrow on 23rd April, live at 10 on Sekolah Cikal YouTube. Thank you and see you tomorrow.
Thank you, everyone.